Yo, Nakama around the world, welcome back to Conqueror's Haki Corner. It's your boy Vim,
Yeah.
and your boy Serge,
Yo, I'm back.
and myself, Rook. Welcome back, Serge. And we're giving you another chapter review of One Piece 983 Thunder.
But if you haven't already, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to share the video. The more you share, the more we grow. But before we begin, as always, we'd like to thank every single one of you for joining us, for subscribing, and for commenting. We appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't
Can
know,
I just
man. Older.
mad with Oda?
Older. What did you say, sorry?
I said, can I just say how mad I am with Oda? He set up so much stuff this chapter to only go on a break for a week.
No, you can't. Listen,
And
let the
he-
guy live. Let him live, sir. Let him
That's
live.
evil, man.
It's, what he gave us was enough to let us settle over for a couple of weeks at least. It was nice content. Let's kick it off with the front cover. Nice and easy, right? We're still with Gangbage, and guess what? Lola and Chiffon's dad has come up on shore. So it's like a family reunion. Gangbage is seeing his father-in-law. Is he going to be able to say to him that I've been looking after your daughter? We don't know. We don't know how the program's going to fit, but let's see how it goes on.
The interesting thing about it, though, they don't actually know that he's their father, right?
That's right.
Nah, you're right. You're
I'm
right.
sure they can look at the same old ugly resemblance.
I'm sure that's what they mean by the exclamation mark with the bow. They're gonna realize that the bow is signifying something with them. So
Yeah. Plus, I'm assuming that Pez is going to know who he is anyway, because remember when Pez cried?
I agree.
Yeah. Interesting.
we are starting off with Pererin. Now this I found this interesting. He's on his own. He's able to withstand from touching the sea, as we've seen before. So inevitably, he could ride out on his own like Okiji. Essentially, his power is sort of, I can just glide out. I don't have to touch the sea. I'm not worried about sinking like I can carry on. But he left his whole crew.
Yeah, I think when he fell down, they would have got separated. But then I guess that's, we could say, somewhat plot armor, because it makes the story a bit more interesting now. So they're not all concentrated in one place. So now you have them jumping into different fights, maybe.
I think it's quite literal with what he said, as in, he said like, they'd scrap the alliance. We're not about that. We will come out on top. So that's just kind of directly correlates with the plot armor thing of Big Mom and Kaido ain't going to work out. How it's not going to work out, we're obviously going to learn along the way. And I do expect the Big Mom pirates to crash eventually and to cause just some kind of fiasco where there's a lot of not getting along kind of thing. They'll take up a lot of attention. But I think that was just slightly put in there just to remind us that they will play a part later on, no time soon.
For sure.
Definitely. And again, we've got a brilliant plot armor here. I'm glad you used that term. Usopp and Chopper have scraped away with only a couple of bumps on the head. And for some reason, you know what? I didn't think of it when I first read it, but Frankie's machinery, Frankie's mechanics, Frankie's be able to cross something, quite powerful.
Yeah.
To withstand a hit from a Big Mom punch, regardless, that's a Yonko punch. There is no Mickey Mouse dealing with that. So the fact that it could take it is sort of a recognition in itself. But what gave it away was obviously that Big Mom got distracted because now she's found out where Zeus is.
Not just that, I think it kind of sets up for the plausibility later on that Frankie's going to have to develop as a character. Like, he's not going to be Monster Steel, but he's going to have to be hella strong to fight some of the people later on in the story arc. And so far, Oda hasn't developed him in terms of Haki, but I like that because it's just something different. His gift is technology. And built the best ship in the world. He builds the best, gadgets in the world to fight with. And obviously, he can enhance himself just as well, I think, to a level where he'll be able to fight some strong opposition. So I like the way Oda's going in a different direction with Frankie. Not everyone, you can't expect and want everyone to be the same way, like Haki and Devil Fruit Kings. Like, he's doing really well with Frankie, and I think it's a nice direction.
You know what? And that just gave me something to think about. I think he's going to develop or potentially develop Sanji's Gemma machinery.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
And that's where it's going to take just Sanji to the next level of what he wants.
See, this is the thing though. I don't like that. Like Sanji's supposed to be Monster Trio. Like I need Sanji raising that Haki levels, man. Like I don't want him relying on a suit. Like to be fair, like when you saw it in the anime and when you first read it in the manga, yes, it was cool when he fought with Page One. It was easy work. He like did what he did, but that's not the direction I kind of want from Sanji. I think it's like a quick boost to get him ready for this war, but I hope at some point he abandons that and maybe passes it on to one of the other members of the Straw Hats if it can. But I think it's like genetic. I think it's crafted for Vince Smokes. So unless, you know, Frankie can do something with it, or maybe Frankie can inspire his own technology to enhance himself with Vince Smokes technology. But no doubt, I think that suit gets into Frankie's hands at some point and he's going to up it. Also, Oda like sets it up nicely. Obviously, you got Prometheus snitching on Zeus, like, yeah, they're over here. And it's kind of funny. Big Mom, I could fully expect to catch up to them, but it would be nice to see if Sanji comes through for the girls. Obviously, he ain't going to beat up Big Mom, but if he does something, you know, like just to get by them time, that would be really cool.
No, definitely. This is an interesting thing now. So Big Mom is actually strolling. And she says, well, they're on to the main stage. But when we hit the main stage, Momonosuke is chained up. This is a child chained up. And his face is black and blue, bruised up. And Orochi is boasting, saying, we've captured the long-lost son. We've captured the last remnants of the Kozuki clan.
I'm calling it now.
Clan.
I'm calling it now, yeah? And I'm willing to actually put a nice little bet on any cup of tea, any money you lot want, yeah? Momonosuke is going to awaken Conqueror's Haki and knock out loads of people. I'll tell you why.
I like that.
Anytime Oda's put someone on like a brink of death, crucifixion, i.e. it happened with Ace, it happened similarly. I think it's going to resemble the time when Doflamingo almost got killed and he awakened it. And it's going to be one of those moments because there's been a whole thing of in the flashbacks where Kaido has been calling Momonosuke a scrub, you're nothing like your dad. And this is going to be the moment where he shows Kaido like, nah, bruv, watch, like what's lying within me is greater than what you can comprehend. So when they go to kill him, he's going to wipe out a whole bunch of people with Conqueror's Haki and he ain't going to die. And that will buy time for the fiasco because obviously Big Mom coming to the place, I think she's going to lose her head and act out of turn. So, but I'm calling it now, Momonosuke Conqueror's Haki.
I like that.
And speaking of Conqueror's Haki, I'm going to say it now, yeah? Oda, over the last few chapters, has really done a consistent job of linking Luffy, Kid, and Zoro. Now, the reason why that's interesting is because Zoro is a first mate, and Killer is also a first mate, but Killer is not getting that same recognition. He's getting his own like dues in his own way, but Zoro is being put on the same platform as Luffy and Kid. It's been happening the last 3 chapters. Now, what's interesting with this chapter, they did it like panel to panel and they didn't complete it. So first Zoro came up against all these bug gifters and stuff, and they said there's 500 of us in front of him, and they gave him a speech of, you know, a typical speech that you know is going to provoke a personality like Zoro. Like, listen, we all wanted to be kings once upon a time. Kneel down to Kaido and join him, yeah? And then we leave the scene. Then we go to Kid. And Kid is similar kind of thing. We can't bust through whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then the Kid's viciousness, like, you don't lose focus on me, you die. And then obviously we get to Luffy. But at some point soon, I don't know if they're going to make a big moment out of it or just whatever. I think Zoro is going to demonstrate his Conqueror's Haki. We haven't seen Kid use it, so we're going to get to see Kid use it for the first time as well. I think it'll be like a panel where all 3 of them use it, maybe in different places.
Ooh, like that. See, we already got Luffy using it while he's obviously when he clashed with Ulti. That was quite interesting.
I would like to challenge you on that.
You think so?
Okay.
Mate, headbutt. Okay. No. Before I let you, the same parallel is when he clashed
Don
Chinjao.
And I'm not dismissing you, but what I will say this, is okay, the reason why I was the same as you, obviously I found you excited when I first saw it. When Luffy clashed their heads, it's that kind of black lightning that was emitting, But 2 things, there's a lot of fodder there and no one got KO'd. I think we would have seen people get KO'd. That's the first thing. The second thing I'd like to cite, is if you go back to when Kaido fought Luffy, Kaido, when he charged up Haki in his arm, had black lightning around it. And there's nothing to say that was conquerors. That was just higher level armament Haki. So what I think it is the way Oda's kind of pitched Ulti in this chapter, she's super strong. Like she comes across stronger than Page One to me right now, And I personally think it was just a clash of higher level armament Haki. That's what I personally think. I don't think it was conquerors, and my main thing is no one got KO'd.
So now, and again, I'm only basing it off artistry and the way it's designed. We're gonna have to start differentiating between how high level armament to what you're describing and what Haki is portrayed as, essentially in terms of on an artist level, on a visual level. Sorry. But so let's say high level armament, they recognize your strength, so they recognize your scrub, and with that they then begin to transform. The fact that Ulti and Page One transformed, right? Now we're dealing with just one level under the
All-Stars, the equivalent.
One level under the All-Stars. Yeah, so one level under the All-Stars. Now, Luffy's casual with them on par, but he's not doing any serious work just yet. So there's still that fragment of, can he reach that next level? And how far is he away from it?
The only thing that I would say, I agree with everything you're saying, but at the same time, I think Oda's been very vague on purpose. So he's also drawn the parallel that a lot of these flying Tobi-Roppo, the flying six, that there's some of them that may be able to beat some of the All-Stars. So I wouldn't distinguish the Tobi-Roppo as a level below all of the All-Stars just yet. It's to be determined. I mean, we could obviously decide they're nowhere on the level of King, because that would just not serve. But the fact that they are planning on, taking out Queen, who's second, to me tells me they're probably stronger than Jack. Some of them.
Yeah.
Anyway. Also, in reverse to what you said, Luffy, when he acknowledges someone strong, usually means they're very strong. Because he did it with Inuarashi. When he saw him, he said, oh, this guy's strong. And then we saw what happened. Inuarashi fought Jack. He did it, who else did he do it with? He does it all the time. He did it with Krakow. Acknowledged that Krakow was strong and he went to level up. And this kind of reminds me of when he fought Krakow. Like he was like, I'm in trouble, I need to go gear fourth. Like I can't beat this person. This is not a joke. But at the same time, Oda did a nice way of like, he's dealing with two of them at the same time. Like he's fighting kind of comfortably, But at the same, also Oda's not kind of showing all their moves. And I think the reason why he did it on purpose is because that's not Luffy's fight. So there was like a little skirmish. They all held their own. And then thereafter, it was a thing of, the big moment, man.
The grand entrance.
Daddy's boy.
Grand entrance.
Daddy's boy.
Thunder Magua.
And he KO'd her. Like, he hit her the way Kaido took out Luffy, he did that to Oti. So he's no joke. But what's interesting is what the hell is this guy's motive? Like it could be some kind of flashback because this is the thing. Kaido obviously has a bad relationship with his own son, but he's taken a big interest in Momonosuke, because when he thought Momonosuke was dead last chapter, he was ready to like kill whoever killed Momonosuke. So I think there's going to be a link between Yamato and Oden. Like maybe Yamato was young enough when Oden got killed 20 years ago to witness it. Like whenever there's a grand death, there's a lot of things to do with inherited will. So he might have seen like, I rate this guy, and went against his dad. Because clearly he's against his dad. He said, I've been waiting for Straw Hat Luffy, is that you? I've been waiting for you for the longest time. So it's a very powerful ally. And I can't imagine who he's going to fight.
Now, we already know that he was chained up. You can see the shackles on his hands. My thoughts is similar to what you're saying. I think if he has inherited a will, I think he's been attacking his dad for a very long time. Over the last, and he's just going at him over and over again, just taking his chances. And this is a similar parallel, but not the same. When Ace hit Whitebeard's ship, Ace wanted to get Whitebeard, kept getting washed out. Kaido's son, all they can keep doing is just letting him carry on, like every now and again, lock him up, put him in chains. But he can escape because he's not weak. What his goal is with Luffy is now in question, and what he knows about Luffy as well, essentially.
Also, like another parallel is like there's a common theme in One Piece where people always have more adopted fathers than real fathers. So like Ace considered Whitebeard his dad, even though wouldn't you like be so proud that your dad was Gold Roger? Do you understand? Your dad was the greatest pirate to ever live, but you like this guy better. Luffy doesn't follow Dragon, who's probably one of the strongest guys in the world. He decided to follow Gold Roger. So there's a common theme where other people are following other people's dads, and that's why I'd link with the whole thing with Yamato. Maybe he was inspired by Oden and disregarded his own father to follow Oden's will to an extent. And because like Luffy is off that cloth, like similar to Oden, similar to Gold Roger, that kind of character. So maybe he's heard the stories, has way of getting intel, and that's how I see it. So because there's a lot of daddy issues in One Piece.
Mm.
To put it simply.
Yeah.
The link I saw, initially I was thinking Yamato might have been linked to the revolutionaries, and then after a while it made me think about the Tengu that they met at the beginning. Remember he said I've been waiting for someone for a long time. So I'm wondering if Yamato and him are linked.
Especially because he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got similar style. Another interesting thing was that Yamato actually used the same move as his dad, Thunder Bagua.
You can imagine that his daddy must have trained him very hard when he was younger. And I mean, like I said, he's clearly he comes across like he must be probably on the same level of strength as like a Shishibukai, like Weevil. Like as in he dealt with, I mean, listen, he caught her off guard. Like I'll give it, she was busy with Luffy and all that, but still to just take her out with one shot and just pick up Luffy and run, like this guy's no joke. And I mean, I really didn't expect to see this coming, but I think Oda's going to have some kind of big purpose with him. But I'm really like I said, I'm looking forward to the Momonosuke conquers Haki. I'm so sure that this is going to happen. I'm so sure of it. Because think about it, anytime someone's almost been crucified or died on a stage, it's always been Conqueror's Haki, with the exception of Luffy in the beginning, obviously. But we can say that kind of alluded to it where things went his way. And obviously Roger it was his time to go. But everyone else, there's been some form of Luffy was about to die, Ace awakened it. Dolphy was about to die, he awakened it. Ace was about to die, Luffy used it. It's like a common. I think it'll be just that moment for Momonosuke, man, like just to show that he'll play a big role in the future. Not now. He's still a scrub.
I guess the moment of trigger is Orochi's gonna have to say something about his dad.
Yeah.
And then from then, it's gone. But guys, let us know what you thought of the chapter in the comments down in the section below. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit a like if you like that chapter. And don't forget to share the video. The more you share, the more we grow.
But from Conqueror's Haki Corner, it is that time. Peace out.
Peace out.